Hey, what's hey, what's going on? Welcome to the Eric Zane Show podcast, and the live stream is brought to you by Blue Frost IT. Let's go! Let's go! A softball is a home run. Call it binging.
This is a softball, and this is a home run.
Call it binging.
Nice boobs, Kyler.
Forget.
Binging.
Binging. Let's go!
Let's go!
Let's go.
Good job, Kyler.
Good job, Kyler.
All right. Thanks again to Blue Frost IT for being on board with the show. 616-200-8550. That is their number. They're the managed IT service provider for the program. So if I get in the weeds and things start getting terrible, that's when I call them. They just remote in. They go, all right, yeah, you didn't update this, you big knucklehead. When it says update it, update it. You know, Eric, you're involved in a phishing scam, ransomware, knucklehead. Okay, thank you to them. If you need IT support for your small or medium-sized business, do call upon our friends over at Blue Frost IT, bluefrostit.com. All right, there you go. Thank you to them. Also, bringing you the live stream, the Kent County Health Department. Those folks working tirelessly to make sure that the infrastructure that makes the world go round in and around West Michigan is in place. Kids with the vaccines, COVID testing stations, sexually transmitted infection treatment, things like that. Not to mention support with the WIC program if you need to apply for something like that. The Kent County Health Department has everything that people need when in need. 616-631-7100. Thank you to them for being on board. You can also get a hold of them on their website, accesskent.org/health. And, of course, this show comes to you from the Metalworks. Failure. Body Shop Studio. They're bringing you the show and the live stream as well. Thank you. Metalworks Body Shop. They're in Coopersville, Michigan. If you crack up your RV, travel trailer, fifth wheel, my God, that's where you take it. There's only one place to take your travel trailer, fifth wheel, camp, or whatever it may be. Whatever RV type thing that you have, you want it fixed. You spend a lot of money on that thing. Okay, you want to make sure that it looks good and it is in good shape so you can get it out on the road. Metalworks Body Shop. Thank you. Get more info at metalworksbodyshop.com or go to my website and click on the logo, and that'll take you right to their page. Here we go. It is the 4th of August. Let us begin.
And now, here's a guy who has never won a congeniality award at any radio station anywhere.
I will fight you in the streets.
It's the Eric Zane Show podcast with your host, Eric Zane.
All right, thank you very much, Johnny. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast. This is a daily shit show. Basically me ranting and raving, obscenity and views, covering news, nonsense, and my personal stories. I was talking with Bleeding Heart Brian, and I said, I'm having a hard time finding other podcasts where they basically tell personal stories. Now, some people are like, I hate your stories. They suck. Everything about your stories is terrible. Well, I can't help that. This is what I've done forever. Outside of the podcast called Bill Burr does a little bit, tell some personal stories, but it's, I don't know. Tuesdays with Stories is also a story show. So that's not, I like that. But that's my bread and butter, the personal stories. In fact, I got one right here for you before I give you the rundown of what I'm talking about. Hang on. So, right now, the Eric Zane Show podcast household is dividing and conquering. Diana and her brother Kevin are taking care of the final things as we prepare for Diana's brother David's funeral, who passed away suddenly last week. So while they're away in the Detroit area taking care of that, she did share one thing with me, and she goes, "You're not going to believe what happened." And she said she was looking at Instagram, and she saw a brand of personalized shirts that it was just, I don't know, man. I don't know if your phone listens to you or if this is, or whatever this is. I'll let you fill in the blanks. Probably just a coincidence, but it did strike her in a particular way because she just happened to be looking at it. And Diana's brother, as you know, is David. And these corny T-shirts, these personalized T-shirts, this one popped up, and it says, and this is like on Sunday or something like that, or Saturday, I don't know. The shirt says, "What a difference a Dave makes." So, you know, if you got a pal named Dave, your pal Dave would wear a "What a difference a Dave makes" T-shirt. Well, you know, here we are mourning the loss of Diana's brother David, and out of the blue, this shows up on Instagram. So Diana went ahead and got a whole bunch of these made, and she's going to give them away to David's close friends at the funeral. I mean, that's freaking cosmic that it worked out that way. And she goes, "This is weird. Take a look at this." So, all right. Figured I'll wear that between now and, well, I guess all I have is I got today's show. I've got tomorrow's show. And then with Dear Meathead. And then Thursday, I've got a best of show that's going to happen that I'm making right now. And then I'll be back Friday for a normal show right here in the Metalworks Body Shop, Fear Bunker Studios. So Diana's having a tough time. I was talking to her on the phone yesterday. She just doesn't, she feels out of sorts. She can't, and I listened to her, but I can only assume it's maybe part of the process when sudden loss like this happens. And she just doesn't feel right. So yeah, that's, I wish I had a way to just wave my magic wand and make her feel better, but she's struggling a little bit right now. Talked to her last night. So all right, her and I will reconvene on Thursday. Thank you again for everybody. There was some, even as little as just a message is very, very sweet. I had flowers come in from a friend of the show, Jason Mays and his lovely wife. I just, seriously, that was just awesome. And they smell like amazing. You walk through and it's like, oh my God, I'm reminded of it. So thank you. All right. On this show today, idiots are getting a little handsy. I saw three stories of people losing their shit and just hitting people like sucker punch style. My God. People cannot keep their hands to themselves. We've got a story about a lawsuit that is coming to light near my hometown about a terrible work environment at the county morgue. This is a huge county on the east side of the state of Michigan, Macomb County. Oh, boy. And the straw that broke the camel's back was a BBC cake. I think it was an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where Funkhauser got all pissed off because there was a dick cake. It's a cake shaped like a big dick. All right. The Navy SEAL Museum. That's a thing. The Navy SEAL Museum. Are they going to try to cancel the Navy SEAL Museum? Is that going to be attempted? I don't think that's going to work. The Navy SEAL Museum is being looked at harshly. There could be some trouble, some headaches involved here. Somehow because of something involving Colin Kaepernick. And, okay, this is all weird. It's like a year ago, and I'm not going to, no. No. In fact, I thought it was hilarious. So I'm going to dissect that. I'll play you the audio that brought it all to light from the video, and I'll link it up for you to see. And another day, another outbreak in baseball. Oh, boy. This one cancels games for my Detroit Tigers. So, okay. Hope you're all enjoying the start of your day. If you're getting the show live or if you're getting it later on, that is cool. If you could enjoy the show on Facebook or YouTube, that would be great. I've got the graphic up there. It says follow on YouTube, search Eric Zane Show. Play them both if you're watching live, and drop the sound down on Facebook or YouTube, whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Facebook live streams, sponsored by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. Also, Periscope video on Twitter at Eric Zane Show, the Blue Frost IT Twitter handle. And then, as I said, on YouTube, follow the show on Instagram, brought to you by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Okay, so as this household goes, as I said, the things are kind of, things are a little bit nutty here with no Diana, as Madison and myself are here. And we've got this separation, and we're also trying to convalesce Daisy. Daisy has, as you know, underwent that massive surgery, and man, the dog is a brick shithouse. The dog is recovering so well, and I think she's recovering better on this one than she did the last one. So much so that she wants to run. Now, again, she had the one part of her leg cut. Like the top of the bone cut completely off, the head of the crown, and then they rotated, screw it all back together, and send the dog home. Man, the dog is just doing awesome. And so she has an army of medicines that the dog she has to take. And so of all these pills, she's working her way through the prescriptions, and some are running out, thank God. And the incision looks great. Super long incision on the dog's leg. It's like, 6, 7, 8 inches, stapled shut. Staples have to come out in a week. And so, all right, yeah, you got to make sure that the incision doesn't get infected, all the antibiotics. There's this one pain medicine that she takes. She had been taking several pills a day. And it said the one thing that you don't want to see may cause constipation. Now they need to rephrase that and say this will cause constipation, the worst constipation imaginable. And they should probably encourage you to give the dog wet dog food, which happens to move things through a little quicker than the dry. Well, add to the mix the fact that the dog is and the dog has to take these pills with food. Dog is sick of the pill pouches. You get these damn pill pouches, and you put the pill in there, and then you squeeze it and give the dog the pill. Well, the dog's like, shit, I am sick and tired of eating these pill pouches. Screw you, I'm not eating it anymore. All right, let's go to the cheese. Something else that binds the dog up. Put the cheese around the pill, give the dog the pill. All right, then she starts getting sick of the cheese. So you give her the cheese, and she's like, that's a bulldog, of course, English bulldog. And then all of a sudden you see the pill just go. She somehow it's like eating a sunflower seed. She managed to separate the seed or the pill from the cheese. And then the pill comes out one side, and then the cheese comes out the other. She only eats a little bit of it, and then so she's sick of the cheese too, and now she's spitting it all out. It's a disaster. It's like, oh my God. Bruce is trying to run around, get at the cheese, and Bruce wants to eat the pill that's on the ground. I'm like, get the fuck away, get out of here. Oh my God. So this dog is bound up. Now the days are passing, and there's no sign of life in the dog's colon. I let her outside. She's able to, she finally graduated from peeing where she lays to peeing on a pee pad, and now she pees outside. All right, great. Dog won't go poop. Oh my God, this is going to be rough. And so every time I take her out there, I'm waiting for the big one, And so then I decide that she's still got to get the medicine in her. So what you do is, you got to come up with a different way. And so I take a big spoonful of peanut butter. Yeah, something else that completely freezes the colon. And, but again, you got to get this medicine in her. And so I take the pill and stick it in the peanut butter, And then she's like, oh yeah, now this is great. And then she opens up her mouth, and I just go and just put it right on the dog's tongue, and then that's it. The dog eats the pill, but yet something else binding the dog up. So yesterday I call her local physician, not the one that did the operation. I go, look, how am I supposed to do this? The dog has not gone to, this is yesterday. And so now it was the previous Monday that she was operated on, and she took a dump a week ago and a Sunday. So however many days that is, 8 days ago was the last time this dog went to the bathroom. Imagine that. If you didn't go if you went 8 days and weren't able to go caca. So, the dog probably weighs like 300 or 400 pounds now with impacted stool. So you're like, oh, man, this is really got to be rough. What do we got to do? So I call the vet. They go, look, why don't you give her some wet dog food? And I go, well, you know what? On the instructions, it should encourage that. Maybe like while you're giving the dog this medicine, you should give the dog wet dog food so that you don't have what's about to happen to Eric Zane. So I'm looking around, getting ready to feed the dog yesterday, and I don't have any wet dog food here. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can improvise here. Sometimes you like mix human gravy, human gravy. Like that Heinz gravy. It's in a jar. She loves that. That would add some liquid to the diet. Maybe that'll help. I don't have any. Well, when the pandemic started, I started buying like a can of bug out food every day. My pal Steve Prince, he's like got all sorts of bug out food in case there's like civil unrest and the store's closed. He's like a prepper. So I turned into like a mini prepper, and I've got a shelf in my pantry where it's full of like canned lunch meat, canned corned beef, Spam, soups, vegetables, all sorts of canned food in case I got to bug out, And then I'm like, well, maybe I can give her some of this canned lunch meat, which I've eaten, and it's terrible, but it'll work in a pinch, So, you got to open it up with the key, take it off, and then you're supposed to cook it. And I go, I can just throw it in her bowl. I go, no, I don't want to do that. I probably want to cook it, but I don't want to do this. So forget it. I'll put it back. And then I see it. Dinty Moore beef stew, which basically is dog food. Okay. You open it up. You ever open up a can of dog food and you're like, damn it, that smells good. This stuff is good, except it is human can consume this. And so I had some of it. It's really good, by the way. Underrated food right there. And I go, Daisy is going to love this. So quite literally yesterday, I opened up the can of Dinty Moore stew, and it was like Charlie Chaplin when he's like homeless, dividing up his rations with the pet, and that one, you never saw that. Some of you don't even know who that is. I put the stew in the dog bowl, and I put a little bit for Daisy, a little bit for me, a little bit for Daisy, a little bit for me. I've got my stew. Daisy has hers. And I gave her the stew, and she's like, oh, man, this is just what the doctor ordered. Amazing. Still, no poo. I didn't expect her to finish it and then have to go take a dump. It's, hopefully that'll loosen up the system, So, yesterday I had a guest over. It's Maddie's boyfriend, his brother, and his mom. So the whole crew. So I got mom, and I've got the two boys. And we're just chatting. Now, I'm seated at one spot in the kitchen area, dining room area, and they're across we have this island that you've seen before where I sit all the time. That's where, when I first started doing video podcasts in 2016, I sat there. Then I moved it to the living room. So mom and the kids are there. And I'm having a conversation, and the dogs show up, love them up, and then the dogs go about their business. I'm having a conversation with them, and while I'm talking about whatever, I notice their faces all go, wow, God, wow, what the? They wrinkle up their noses, and they're all like, they're looking around like something really terrible just happened, and then their hands go over their faces, and I'm like, wait, what's happened? This all happens in like 1 second, And then I hear, Daisy farted. the dog. So imagine the strength and the concentration of the air of 8-day infused fart, 8-day turd infused fart. It's a miracle the air was able to make it through that labyrinth of passageways of impacted turd to get out of the dog's butthole and fill up the room. And so they're ready to throw up. I mean, it was that bad. And I'm like, oh God, this is, and so finally that fades, it's like all in their clothes and their hair and their mouths. It's just awful. And then she does it again. I'm like, oh my God. And the family's like, oh, we got to get out of here. So they leave. And I'm like, Daisy, man, you did it. This is, it kind of worked out. I was ready for bed anyway. So they split. And I'm like, this is bad. What do we do? So today's the day that I'm planning on taking the next step about getting this impaction out of the dog. So, but then I wake up this morning, and this all is good news. I have nothing crazy to report. Some of you are like, fingers crossed that she did it on the floor, and it looks like that scene in Close Encounters when Richard Dreyfuss's character made that big devil's tower in the living room, okay? Remember that scene? No, we don't know your references, stupid. Madison let her out last night, and it happened. 8 days. Wow. I'm going to spare you any more gory details. I don't have any more gory details. It's just now that, and then I noticed that because normally when I come down the steps in the morning, Daisy gets up and is like, hey, how you doing? She's woken up, but she probably hasn't been sleeping well because of that rock, that boulder in her belly. It has left the body. Good news. The day is looking up. Congratulations to Daisy for the 8-day award. Wasn't there a dude in the news? I remember when I worked with Ben, there was a story about some dude who ate drugs, and they said, all right, you got to go to the bathroom. We got to get these drugs out of you, you dummy. And he kept holding it. And I think he held it for like months or something like that. And they ended up just like saying, all right, you know what? You're free to go. I'm probably getting some of those details wrong, but the guy held it like forever. Do you remember that story? So that was kind of like my dog. Okay, win for Daisy. Congratulations. That's right. The story of Daisy taking a dump is part of our open of the Eric Zane Show podcast. The open is brought to you by Bennett Flooring Installation. Call them up for an estimate. I know Stevie the Toe just did that. She signed on the dotted line. They'll be installing the flooring for Stevie. 616-318-0167. Just call up. No charge for the measurement. They're going to measure the room, and they're going to say for us to install what you want installed here, whatever it may be, carpeting, vinyl plank flooring, doesn't matter. They do it all. It's going to cost you this much. Okay, great. The Toe went, got her flooring herself, set it down in the room. The boys show up. They install it. Super affordable. Quick and easy, awesome way to do it. I suggest you, if you want flooring installed, to get in touch with Bennett Flooring Installation, 616-318-0167. Thank you, Bennett, and you can click on their logo at ericzaneshow.com, take you right to their site. Okay. We also have a mortgage pro on the show, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. 231-332-6505. Now, there are tons of Van Dyke mortgages throughout the United States, all right? Tom Van Dyke started this company in 1987, and it's been wash, rinse, repeat, set up shop in all these different locales throughout the United States. So you can call on any one of them, but the one that I'm really encouraging you to call is the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. They are the sponsors of the show. They help me. If you need a mortgage, you should help them. 231-332-6505 for the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Okay, got a gunsmith, BK Guns and Stuff. Okay, and they are another company that, though they're here in West Michigan, they work nationally because they have customers that all around the country send the fire. Hey, man, this is busted. I smacked my cousin over the head with this rifle in a drunken rage, and I had to settle his ass down. Can you fix it? Yeah, sure. Repairs, customization, refurbishing, cleaning, they do it all at BK Guns and Stuff. Reach out to them. Just get a hold of them by going to their Facebook page, BK Guns and Stuff, and you can get to there by clicking on their logo at ericzaneshow.com. Okay, being apart from the Queen of the Forest is not good. See if I can get her on here as she is hopefully getting started with the day. I don't know if she'd be up yet. See, you see, she's not with me. So when I get up and get around, normally around here, she gets up with me and takes care of the dogs. Maybe Daisy's going to go poo, so hopefully she is up and around. I don't think so. She normally answers by now. I'm trying to stall. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unavailable. Damn it. Maybe later on. Okay. Idiots are hitting people. Here's the latest. This happened at a Burger King. Listen to this.
Can't fucking jail for robbery.
All right, I take it back. I'm going to play it once, and then I'll give you the background, and then I'll play it again.
Can't fucking jail for robbery and stealing stuff. So she needs to get the fuck out of here before I get her put in jail for the rest of her life. Sir, you are on camera right now.
There it was. Did you hear that? Did you hear the slap? Okay. Poor dude working at the Burger King. This is just terrible. Dude's working at the Burger King, and from what I can gather, the customer is mad because he asked for chicken nuggets. It's already ridiculous, the fact that we're talking about chicken nuggets here, and this guy is just pissed off. The chicken nuggets get to where his order, and he opens it up, and it's whatever, a 7-piece, 8-piece, 9-piece, but he got shorted one. So let's say it's a 10-piece nugget meal, and there was 9 there. That's what this is over. And so he shows up, and he's saying he wants to get her put in jail for robbery, the employee who did not count right. And then he's talking about life in prison, this moron. And then the dude behind the counter says, "Sir, I got to remind you, you're on camera right now." And then the guy swings at the worker from across the cash register and crack right in the face. That's right where the audio picks up.
Can't fucking jail for robbery and stealing stuff. So she needs to get the fuck out of here before I get her put in jail for the rest of her life. Sir, you are on camera right now.
God, this makes me really, really upset. This is horrible. What a fucking idiot. Okay, updates. Cops said the man is 21-year-old Austin Addison. He was charged with harassment, disorderly conduct, and criminal mischief. What about assault? Why would you charge someone with assault? I mean, I don't know the law, but all right. And then it was previously believed that this, and boy, I don't even know where the hell this happened. It doesn't even say. Again, I'm always bogged down with where did this happen? What part of the country? But I want to know. It was previously believed that Addison was fired from his job at Harbor Freight Tools for the slap. However, a representative of the company said that he was no longer an employee there at the time of the incident. But if you're so wound up with everything in the world that all it takes is one less nugget to get you to act like that and then hit someone, life is not so good for you. There was also a couple other incidents that I think I need to bring up. There was this one was in Florida. I think the guy has some serious problems. Well, the hell, all these people have serious problems, but this guy is I don't have audio from that one, and it involves some guy at a restaurant type place, maybe a resort, and he's kind of like walking around with no shirt on. He's all tatted up, and his pants are unzipped and like hanging off of his hips, and you can almost see like man muff as the guy is walking around. And he's ranting and raving with white supremacy shit, and he's a white supremacist who happens to love Trump. So bad news for Trump. Trump's like, my God, can we just get someone in the news who's not a white supremacist, who's a fan of me? Of course, Trump, half the time he retweets them. And I'm like, wait, what are you doing? Why did you retweet the guy in the golf cart yelling white power? Wait, no, don't do that. This idiot, they're trying to get this guy to calm down. And he's stomping around, and then some lady approaches him and says, sorry, sir, you can't go any farther. And he hauls back with I can't believe the lady didn't try to block it, because it was the most telegraphed swing you've ever seen. He brings the arm way back and then just follows through with a big sweeping swing. And kablamo, just hits her right in the face. And I'm like, whoa. And then everybody jumps on the dude to restrain him. One of the guys goes up to this dude and starts punching him in the face. And so I'm like, yeah, get him. But cooler heads prevail. And they go, no, not that. We can't beat him into oblivion now, but we can hold on to him until the cops arrive. So there's that. Then there was the lady in New Jersey. Did you see this one at the Staples? Holy shit. I'll link this up. You can check it out on your own. I'll have it in the show notes and put it on in the news. All of these stories will be available for you to look at. This lady is, she's at a copier at a Staples. And I think you run a risk I don't think you and I, if we have masks on and someone else doesn't, or they're not wearing it right, I think you should mind your own business. I don't think it's a good idea to try to make people to put on a mask. It's too much of a crapshoot, and you could get into something terrible could happen. I don't fuck with people, and I don't think you should either. I don't think anybody should be going around being the masked police. You wear a mask. If they don't wear a mask, most of the time, especially where I live, you can't even go into a store. But if they don't have a mask on, leave them alone. Don't screw with those people. Okay? You don't have audio in this video, but the lady is she's 55 years old, but she looks like she's 75, and probably because she just had a liver transplant. So you're a lady out in the public, and 2 months ago, she has a liver transplant. I don't even know if she should even be outside. But she's got the mask on, and she's at the copier. She walks with a cane. So she's really vulnerable. Maybe if you're a big, strong guy, you can tell somebody that they need to put their mask on. But definitely not liver transplant lady who walks with a cane. So some lady next to her is wearing the mask wrong. She's wearing it up to the bottom of the nose, so the nose is exposed. Liver transplant says to nose exposed lady, you should really wear your mask. Now, we're not really sure what transpired after that, but nose exposed is a young lady, and she's aggressive as hell. So liver transplant says you should wear your mask. Nose transplant says mind your own business. Liver transplant says something else to nose exposed. Nose exposed walks away. You see her walk away in the video from liver transplant. Then something else is said, and nose exposed turns around and walks back towards liver transplant. Liver transplant and her start getting into it more. Liver transplant holds up her cane, as Mike Ball indicated, this is a classy Freddie Blassie moment with Rowdy Roddy Piper being played by Nose Exposed. Rowdy Roddy Piper grabs classy Freddie Blassie's cane and tugs it. Liver transplant Freddie Blassie's like, oh, here we go. Piper then grabs a hold of classy Freddie Blassie, who should not be stepping into the squared circle. He's gotten on in years, as you know. I think both these guys are dead in real life, aren't they? Piper, oh my God, has some serious upper body strength and throws Freddie Blassie to the ground. It's not done. Freddie Blassie's leg snaps in half. I mean, like crack, kablamo. Of the two lower leg bones, the big one breaks, the tibia. That's not easy to do, but liver transplant probably has fragile bones. So, Freddie Blassie liver transplant goes down hard. Rowdy Roddy Piper to the booze and a few cheers walks around the squared circle like, yeah, what's up? Stomping around, and all the other onlookers in the staple, nobody's helping Freddie Blassie up. Kane's laying there, legs broken in half. She's like, oh, God, help me. Piper walks out of the joint, leaves. I'm not sure. I can't remember if police caught up with her or not, but that's it. That's this day and people putting their hands on each other. And I have to believe that a lot of this, the one guy who was a white supremacist yelling about Trump, they said he's just got serious issues. He's like on medicine. He should be in a he should be incarcerated in some type of, medical facility with a straitjacket on. But the other two, I got to believe that this pandemic and just it's drawing the worst behavior out of people and not good. Keep to yourself. Definitely don't say any. Make sure you have the right number of nuggets. So we don't have crazy guy going bananas at Burger King. And that's all you can do with that one, because that guy lost his shit. And the poor dude behind the counter, that nerd who got smacked in the face, holy shit. He
can't fucking jail for robbery and stealing stuff. So she needs to get the fuck out of here before I get her put in jail for the rest of her life. Sir, you are on camera right now.
Oh. Yeah, he was just calmly saying, sir, you're on camera. Now he's doing the guy a favor. He's informing him, because sometimes people will back down when they know they're being recorded. But no, that sick son of a bitch just swung with an open hand, fucking Dr. D. David Schultz crack right to John Stossel's face. Whoa, a lot of old school wrestling references on today's show. I'm guessing that probably only like 1 or 2% of you get these references and jokes. But that's kind of the way it goes. All right, so lots of violence in the last 24 hours. Thanks to the usual suspects for sending those along. I think Kevin in Muskegon sent one. Mike Ball sent one, and I forget the other one. But anyway, if you want to contribute to the show, if you have a story like, man, Eric Zane should definitely be talking about this, I want you to copy the link, put it in an email, and email it to me. You can most of you have my text number. Most of you. There's only like 10 of you listening. So you all have my text number. You can also text them to me. All right. So send that along. The story culling, the gathering of the stories is part of the Eric Zane Show podcast. And I need all the help I can get. Okay. This I covered in the Patreon yesterday, but I do want to get into it again because the audio is so excellent. It is one of the wildest things I've seen involving a wedding. And it just surfaced, but I guess this video is like a year old. And I'll post it, I'll add it to the show notes again in case you missed it on Patreon. But you got to see it. But the audio stands by itself because I can describe it for you and you can put it in your mind's eye. But this looks to be like a pretty small wedding, and you got this dude and his wife. And this is it, the big day. The bride looks terrific. The dude, they're kind of a mismatched couple. This guy's kind of a minger, but you see that from time to time. But she just looks amazing, man. And she's up there, and they're doing the big thing where, they've actually written their own vows. And this sweet bride says to her new husband-to-be, they probably haven't said you are man and wife yet. You may kiss the bride. They're probably getting to that point. And she says the vows, and in part of the vows, she says, I love you. I love the ups and the downs. I love the good times and the bad. I love all the, I love it when you smile. I even love your flaws. And you are so special and unique. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. I mean, it all sounds like some of the best stuff ever, really romantic. And then she finishes her vows and she folds them up because she was reading them. It was long, and she hands it to this ugly dude, And he's like, thank you. And thank you. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm marrying so far over my head. And then you hear off in the distance, the mother of the bride. Damn it, I'm already wrecking this. The mother of the groom, mommy, dude's mommy says, there are no flaws to my son. My son has no flaws. Okay, time out. If you're such a sick bitch that you think that your kid is perfect, yeah, you're crazy. He probably jizzed in your bra when he was 14, so shut the fuck up. No one's perfect, you stupid hag. And shut up. Who the hell do you think you are at somebody's wedding to be busting that one out? Just shut up. Who the hell are you? And everybody right away, there's big gasps, and I'll play it for you in a second. And then, right away you see some other dude in the front, probably the father of the groom, and these two are divorced now, no doubt. He's like, right away, hand to face, like, here we go. They've got this tired look on their faces. These tired looks on their faces of, hey, here she goes again. She ruins everything. Thanksgiving, that was fucked. Christmas, holy shit. The only thing that doesn't get fucked up is her own birthday, this big mouth hag. Damn it. The bride, she's not taking it. And then they look like a couple of baseball managers going toe-to-toe. It was so great. My God, let's check this out and revel in this nonsense.
And I can't wait for everyone.
Thank you.
You're not going to say my son has flaws.
We can give
leave.
No, it's okay.
No, I don't have to leave.
It's okay.
That dress you're wearing, we paid for.
Let's calm down.
You're not going to ruin my
You are not going to say my son has flaws.
Yo.
Wow. Everybody has flaws, and that's why I love them. You can leave,
Yeah.
Judy.
Like you don't have flaws.
You can leave.
You can get out of my wedding now.
I'm not leaving. That dress you're wearing, I paid for.
Let's quit this.
Get out. I'm not getting out.
Please.
Try it, and I'll have you arrested.
We're on a church.
Tony, get her out of here. This is not right.
Church,
Tony.
and this is not. Let's respect the wedding.
I'm not leaving.
Just hold your
You
peace.
show respect.
Like
You let your
peace.
daughter
Let's
go.
just calm down. Let's say, hey, we don't need this.
This is fine.
We don't need this.
I don't want to hear these flaws about leaving. That dress you're wearing, I paid for.
All right, I'm going to pause here because there's so much to talk about here that I'm going to forget it and then have to play it all over for you. It looks like somebody who's she gets up and gets into the face of this loudmouth, and she goes, and so she's like, try it and I'll have you arrested. So, and then you got the bride saying, you're not going to ruin my day and all this stuff. And oh my God. And seriously, if you're there, if you're a guy, this woman needs another woman to punch her right in the nose. I talked about this a little bit yesterday. You need to have one of the guys here stand up and say, hey, I'm not going to do it, but we've had a screwed up life because we've known her for the last however many years. We've had she sits there drinking Blatt's beer while we're just trying to have Thanksgiving. She took a shit on the floor last Thanksgiving. Remember that one? Well, now she's ruining this. Well, we've had it. But us hillbilly men, we're not going to knock her teeth out this time. I need one of you ladies to rise up and beat her to oblivion right here at the altar. We need an old school white family of West Virginia. I don't mean white color. I mean you got to know that reference, the wild whites of West Virginia. We need a Jesco White style beating by one of you ladies right now on her for all of this horse shit, because this is terrible. She's putting us through all of this, and she needs to be quieted. Please, someone rip out her tongue.
Get out. I'm not getting out. Try it, and I'll have you arrested.
We're on a church.
Tony, get her out of here. This is not right.
Church, and
Tony.
this is not. Let's respect the wedding.
I'm not leaving.
Just hold your
You
peace.
show respect.
Like
You let your daughter go.
Let's just calm down. Let's say, hey, we don't need this.
This is fine.
We don't need this.
I don't want to hear these flaws about my
All right.
son.
You have the flaws right now.
Are you kidding?
Act like an adult.
I have the
You
flaws.
don't know how to
By
act.
the way, the lady shooting the video needs to stop smoking.
Oh,
Are
right
you
now.
kidding? I give that man $500 because he wanted to live high and right.
Okay. Now she's gunning for somebody else there. So she's letting it all fly. She should stay because she paid for the dress. She gave some other dude $500.
This is not your day. It's not about you. No, but she's not
It's
in love about my son.
It's not about you.
She's in love with your son.
Okay, let us continue, please.
And
Let us
so
continue.
Heidi, she's using my son.
Heidi, go and sit down.
Let us continue, please.
Oh yeah, boy, you had a lot of winners in this crowd, man. Holy shit, they just sound like idiots, all of them. But this mom, I mean, I just don't understand, and I can only imagine what it's like being married to a dude whose mom is like that. Jesus, I don't know if I could if Diana and I get married and she's getting C blocked at everything and my mom hates her and just treats her terribly, she probably wouldn't want to get married. I think that this is absolute true love, the fact that these two are actually going through with the marriage despite this maniac there. You know, you can't pick your family. You can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. There are times, I'm sure, when people are like, you know what? It's really a bummer that you're my brother or you're my mom or you're my dad because you're blood and it's really difficult to write off family members, you know, because they're family. You know, you're stuck with them. Holy shit. This is so terrible. It is, listening to that actually makes me anxious. I would love a follow-up. They should be on Dr. Phil or something like that. I don't even know where that comes from. It just resurfaced in the past day. In fact, when I looked at it just the other day, I only had like 700-800 views on it. Said somebody posted that damn thing to Facebook. What a mess on so many levels. But fantastic audio, and you gotta check it out to see all the video that goes along with it. All right, I'm going to try this again with Diana, just because I love hearing her voice and I miss her. By the way, somebody reached out and said, do not put Diana on a podcast. Hey, how are you?
Okay, how are you?
What's going on there? Everybody just getting up, getting around?
Yeah, we got up pretty early, but...
What's the dog's name again?
Dodger.
I love that dog.
He's very cute.
Hey, I got big news.
What?
Daisy pooped.
Yay.
Yeah. Well,
it wasn't in the house, was it?
No, and we had visitors yesterday. The boys and Alicia were over, you know?
Who?
Alicia and Dylan and Gage.
They were?
Yeah, Maddie said, come on over and hang out. So that's, of course, her boyfriend Dylan and Dylan's brother Gage, and then Alicia. Mom came over, so we were just hanging out in the kitchen, and the dog was at their feet at the bar, and she started to fart, and oh my God. Can you imagine 8 days of turd?
Like out loud?
No.
Was it out loud?
Well, no, that was even worse. If there had been noise, they would have ran for the hills, but all of a sudden I'm talking to them because I was at the kitchen table, and they all wrinkle up their noses. I thought they were going to barf right there on the island.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. So then the dog, I guess last night, she cut loose. So that's a big
Thank
snack.
God.
That's a big snack for O'Neill. He's going to love that later on.
Oh, God. Don't be gross.
Okay. So some jerk reached out to me. Well, I don't know if he's a jerk, but he's concerned about you being on the podcast.
What a dick. Who? Why? Why is he
know.
concerned?
I don't know. He just said, because I had floated the idea half in jest. It was half in jest when I said, yeah, it's going to be the Eiffel Tower podcast with Eric, Diana, or with Ben, Diana, and Eric. And, you know, I mean, like I said, half in jest. But he goes, no, don't do that because Diana's polarizing. Some people don't like her voice and laugh.
What a fuckhead.
Welcome to my world.
Well, no, I'm not going to do it then, dickhead.
No, you can't. You don't let that slow you down. Everybody loves you. You can't. I get that all the time. I get that every day. You're doing this wrong. You got to do what I like you to do. I get that every single day, many times a day. Zane, you suck. This show sucks. You got to have 4 more people, 2 older than you, 2 younger than you, and that's how you got to do the show from now on. That's what I think you should do. One of the things people told me was, Zane, you do what you want to do or what you can do. That's what they've told me.
Oh my God.
So don't let that bother you. No, screw those guys.
Yeah.
So yeah. And
I don't
besides,
like him.
people who always say negative stuff are the ones that always reach out. The ones who like you, they don't say anything. It's because they're happy. Why would they? They wouldn't say any. Only time, they're like, oh shit, oh man, I gotta go reach out to sensitive Zane and say something nice to him because someone said something bad to him.
Right.
So.
I hear you.
Okay, hey, I showed off the shirt, and I told the story of this shirt on the podcast.
Yeah.
What a difference a Dave makes. So that's pretty cool.
Did people like it?
Well, you're probably if they don't, we'll get an email from that guy saying, this is stupid.
What a dumb idea.
What a dummy. That's ridiculous. No, and I talked about how you were like, oh my God. Whenever, when something like this happens, occasionally it's like I don't know if you're just in tune with it or baby Jesus is saying, here's one of those signs that I'm sending you,
Right, exactly.
I would love that to be. Okay, well, I know you had a hard day yesterday and you didn't feel good at all. So, everybody's thinking about you, and then I can't wait to see you on Thursday, despite the bad circumstances.
Right. Okay, I can't wait to see you. I wish you were here now.
Okay. All right, I love you.
I love you too.
Hey,
I'll talk to you soon.
Did you hear about the Tigers are not playing?
Why? They just played last night.
Yeah, well, they lost.
Yesterday.
They lost in the day. They got smoked by the Reds, but they're supposed to take on the Cardinals.
They won. They won yesterday. The game we watched. I think it was a replay because Jacoby Jones hit another 2-run homer. 1-6-4.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second here. I'll find out what's up. It's all weird. No, dude. Hang on. I can't see. They had lost 2 in a row. Wait a minute. They lost Sunday, August 2nd, 4-0.
Yeah, and then they played last night. Yesterday.
They did?
Huh?
They did? I don't see that on my
Oh, well, it did say replay on the screen, so but it was the Reds, so maybe it was another. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they've lost. That they're.
Oh yeah, they do get a week off because the Cardinals are.
Yes, that's what I was about to tell you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
I love you.
All right, I love you too. I'll see you.
Talk to you later.
Okay,
Bye.
talk to you. There you go. Going to the forest. All right. All right. A&E Heating and Cooling. I just got another version of Forbidden Spanish from Joe Martinez. He just sent it along. I think he sent it on his own. I know the word pendejo was used. I know that's nasty. But thank you to Joe Martinez from A&E Heating and Cooling, making sure that everything that your setups, your AC is taken care of. You know what? There's a little bit of chill in the Michigan air, especially last night. It kind of like a cold, a bit of a cold snap. We've had some winds move through. So yeah, I got to shut it down last night. Thank God. Could use the extra money. A&E Heating and Cooling. If you need anything, if the air conditioner goes south, you're definitely going to want to get that taken care of. And I've got a guy for you. It's very important that you call upon Joe Martinez, 616-516-8579. Joe Martinez installs the Comfort Maker air conditioners and furnaces. Comfort with confidence. That's a great brand, better than anybody else. That is the best in the business. And I can't stress this enough. Please call AC Company 1, AC Specialist 2, and get an estimate. They're going to show up with an army of people and salespeople and tell you all the shit that you don't need. And they're going to give you a bill and say, yeah, this is going to cost you $12,000 for this install. And here's your, you can get a line of credit from our creditor right here. We got it all for you. Sign up And basically, yeah, you get a year, same as cash. What a deal, huh? Screw that shit. Throw them out of your house and then call Joe and say, hey, Joe, these jokers, this is what they suggested. Now, you don't need any of that, man. And even if you get a guy who actually has a good price, Joe's going to beat it every time. I can promise you that. So make sure Joe is your last call, third. You call 1, you call 2, and then you call 3, Joe. Do your diligence, or just call Joe. I don't care. You can do that too if you like. But please tell him that I sent you. Joe Martinez, 616-516-8579. Diana is brought to you by Baldwin Ace Hardware. That's right. I've got my wife sponsored. Baldwin Ace Hardware brings you Diana. Baldwin Ace Hardware they're the kings of DIY awesomeness in the Northland. You need a grill. You need supplies for camping. You need fishing gear. They have it all at Baldwin Ace Hardware up north. Don't get it wherever and bring it up there. Get it at Baldwin Ace Hardware. You're throwing money into that community, and God knows they need it. Baldwin Ace Hardware up north. They are a key sponsor of the Eric Zane Show podcast. Thank you for your continued support of the show. All right, and before I get to the BBC cake, this story, I love this story, man. My God, this is, I would do this. I got to tell you about StellaFly. This company, what they do is let's say you've got, let's say Joe Martinez, okay? Joe Martinez has his Facebook and any other, so let's say Joe Martinez has his Facebook page and his Twitter and Instagram, okay? A&E Heating and Cooling on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But he's too busy installing ACs and furnaces and stuff like that and coming up with forbidden Spanish and watching Telemundo. Okay, well, he's like, I need somebody to market my business on those social media platforms. What do I do? Well, Joe Martinez has to call StellaFly. Get a hold of the folks at StellaFly, STELLA Fly, StellaFly.com. They take the tools that are at your disposal and make your business front and center with their tricks of the marketing trade for social media. If your business is not utilizing a company such as StellaFly, and I encourage you to utilize StellaFly, you're missing out. Have them market your business. Go to StellaFly.com, S as in Sam, TELLA, fly.com. All right. Okay, the morgue in Macomb County, Michigan. Now, you work at a morgue. You would think that the morgue would be kind of a place where there wouldn't be too much hijinks or anything like that. Maybe a little bit more of a sensitive atmosphere at the morgue. But somehow it turned into like a party atmosphere full of practical jokes and insensitivity, according to the lawsuit, from some folks who work at the Macomb County, Michigan morgue. I don't know about you, but if I work at a morgue, fuck, knowing that, you know, you're surrounded by dead people, that's enough to make me not want to, want to pull pranks, you know? But that didn't stop some of these people at this morgue, and they're in trouble for insensitivity and some racial shit going on. Great. Just what we need in this day and age. Some ridiculous behaviors involving race. According to the story from the Detroit Free Press, in the same week that George Floyd was killed, a cake decorated with a black penis, a BBC, on it, showed up in the conference room at the Macomb County Medical Examiner's office. So you're in there, you know, occasionally there'll be like somebody will bring in treats at the break table, you know, and there's a cake shaped like a BBC with big giant balls. They even had like the hairs coming off of the nuts and the big swooping droopy dong with an enormous, it's a big sheet cake, you know, like the kind you get at Costco. And it even had like the drips coming off of it and the vein going through it and giant dark brown, like Wesley Snipes skin tone cake. Okay. I mean, bad. Darkness, everybody. Not only was the cake offensive, says one investigator, but it highlighted a chronic problem at the morgue that has now cost 3 employees their jobs. They got fired over the dick cake. Out of all the shit that went down, the big black dick cake is the one that really did it. The morgue is buried in scandal involving allegations of all sorts. Employees mocked blacks inquiring about loved ones' deaths. Well, that alone should be enough to get fired, right? Hung porno in the office. What? Bullied women who complained about it, and then they brought in the big black dick birthday cake for fun, according to a formal complaint. Yeah, you don't want to be. And the short time that I worked at iHeart and Cumulus, I was on my best behavior, but I heard a lot of crazy shit, especially. I better not say. At one of those two companies, I heard a lot of crazy shit. And I was like, damn it, man. People can get in trouble for this. This is rough. I was always very uncomfortable whenever I would hear something that would be like, oh, boy, this is not good. You guys got to watch this. All right. It was the cake that pushed one employee too far, so she filed the complaint with the federal government. In a workplace dispute that is now in the hands of the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, 3 female employees with the medical examiner's office were fired last week for alleged workplace misbehavior. The one worker says went on for at least 5 years. Wait a minute. So 3 female employees were fired for alleged. So it was 3 women. So the ladies are wait, what's going on here? This is a really oddly charged environment that women are fired for this behavior of hanging. What chick at the morgue is going to hang up porno, blast off black people jokes, and bring in a Wesley Snipes cake? I was livid, furious, actually, the woman said in a recent interview. This is the lady who blew the whistle with the Free Press. All these cities are on fire for the Black Lives Matter movement, and here's my staff eating a black dick cake as a joke. She didn't say dick. It said black penis. That really pushed me over the edge. So she filed a complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Is that EEOC? Is Equal Employment Opportunity Council Commission? So that's the federal level, and with the county she filed a complaint. There's been an ongoing hostile work environment within the medical examiner's office since I've been here. The July 18th complaint states the office culture is tainted with racism toward people of color. This was not ignored by managing personnel participated in by the supervising staff. So all these heads are going to roll. Well, what if they brought in like a white dick cake? That probably still would have been a problem, but still, it's the cake is what pushed her over the edge. 3 female morgue employees were fired Thursday following a due process hearing, according to county offices. A 4th employee remains on paid administrative leave. I'm kind of glad there's not dudes involved in this story. You know, I mean, because every time you turn around, there's some white guy who's doing something stupid. And it's very refreshing to hear shitty behavior happening from women. I'm very pleased with this. As pleased as I can be. On paid administrative leave, as an investigation continues to question former employees about allegations involving racist and sexist behavior in the office. The story's not done. Wait till you hear some of the shit that happened here. We don't want anyone working in a place that's unwelcoming, unsafe, and not inclusive. Okay, you've heard all that before. Let me get to what they did. According to those investigating, the current investigation does not involve Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Daniel Spitz, who is a contract employee with the county. The 3 terminated employees were let go for being part of a sexual discriminatory workplace, not for racism. And the investigations have not been able to substantiate any allegations involving racism, but the allegations are out there, and I'll get to that in a second. When I worked with at GRD, Joe had I think it was like a cup or something like that. He had a cup with a big dick on it, this pink cup, and I forget the context for why he had it, but no doubt we were doing something dumb with it. And the show ends, and everybody gathers their shit up. Like, you got, I'll have my coffee mug and a notepad or something like that, and we kind of all get our personal things and take them out of the studio to the desk. So, I got my cup and notepad, and Joe's behind me. He's got his laptop and a cup with the big dick handle. And he's walking through the hallway. And God rest her soul, Jerry Jarvis from the Dave and Jerry Show sees this big dick cup. And the next thing you know, Joe's called into the corner office because she saw the dick. And so she got bent out of shape about seeing a dick. And so, that was it. That's about all on that story. I don't want to say anything else about it, but I don't want to say anything else to protect the guilty, but it kind of fizzled out. According to the person who complained, there have been blatant and overt racist communications among a supervisor and other employees who are at part of the same office clique. The death investigator says that over the years, she has heard multiple racist and insensitive comments from staff when dealing with African-American families who have come into the morgue to inquire about their loved ones. Are they a black family? Was a question she often heard when dealing with upset families, she said. So I don't know the context or the tone of that. The Free Press has agreed to withhold the employees' names at the time because of the nature of the complaint and her concerns about retaliation. Among the allegations, a decomposed body of an African-American male had arrived at the morgue. When the parents arrived, they had difficulty identifying the body. Unsure that it was their son, the death investigator recalled one of the morgue workers telling her, "Show them a picture of his penis. Maybe they'll recognize him by that." Wow. That's kind of like a really insensitive compliment, I guess. Are they suggesting he's got a big hog, or I don't know, maybe a small one? Recently, a distraught family appeared at the morgue and damaged some doors. I don't know, maybe they were anguished and they pounded their fist. When the investigator called 911 and a supervisor to report the incident, the supervisor later called back and said, "Are they black?" Jesus. They can break the doors and nothing will happen to them with everything going on because they are black. They'll just say they were upset, states the complaint. Oh, my God. The death investigator says she has often been given the responsibility of identifying the bodies of African Americans whose families have been considered hostile or difficult by other staff. When these families show up at the morgue, she says, I have been told, go deal with your people. Oh, my God. How can there not, after that investigation reveals that, how do you not, act upon the racist angle of this? I mean, I guess maybe it's a he said, she said, but Jesus. I find this conduct, these statements offensive and appalling, states the complaint, which also alleges numerous sexual harassment incidents over the last 5 years. The death investigator says she's been forced to work in a cliquey environment where sex is often joked about, especially male genitalia. Yeah, you can't do that, man. Man, when I'm at work, when I'm in a workplace, I'm like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, no, sir. And, eyes forward, looking at the ground, oblivious to everything. Yeah, that's the way you must be in the workplace. You don't want to risk anything. Pretend you don't hear shit. I don't know. Over the last 5 years, the death investigator says she's been forced to work in a clicky environment. I already read that. Penis screensavers, sticky notes with genitalia scrawled on them. Yeah, this sounds like Joe back in the day worked there. Joe had a collection of dicks, if I remember correctly. We always referenced him and his obsession with penis. He would not do well at this place back in the day. Printed images of naked men and penis-shaped confetti scattered on desks, counters, and the floor. All of this was part of the office door, her complaint alleges. She was really into penis. People complained, she claims, but nothing was ever done, not even after another person filed a sexual harassment complaint against the county morgue with the EEOC in 2016. I have witnessed prior employees resign due to constant bullying and ridicule for not being on board with the office culture. Aren't you into dick? And things have gotten worse, says the death investigator, alleging within the past 2 years, the hostile work environment has progressively worsened and the harassment has amplified. But it was the cake that did it. So it all happened the day after Floyd died. Boy, whoever is running this place to let all this go on your watch. Jesus. Story continues for a little longer, but that is it. That is what's happening. If you want more on that story, I'll link it up. If you want to check out the rest of it, but oh boy, that complaint that hit the news. Now everybody's talking about that. The big BBC cake did it. Don't do that at work, okay? Do that at your bridal shower. All right. One more bit of news about canceling that's in the news, and I am not on board with this because of its creativity. Yes, it's insensitive, okay? But an organization that is, I think it's known as the U.S. Navy SEAL Museum in Fort Pierce. Where's Fort Pierce? Doesn't matter. They 1 year ago, there was a fundraiser for the Navy SEAL Museum, which is a private entity. It's it's somebody does it and is charging admission, and you got to support the. They do like fundraisers for it, and the military was on hand for the fundraiser. The video that you'll be able to see and hear is a demonstration of some of the K-9 military members that are demonstrating some of the dogs. They're all these German shepherds and what they do and how they're trained. And you got one dude who is known in the circles of this organization in the Navy that he is whenever the attack dogs jump on him when he's wearing the suit, that they wear to train the dogs, he can have a large number of dogs hanging on to him by their jaws trying to bring him down, and his record is 12. The guy's had 12 German shepherds on him at one point. And they're going for the record now at this fundraiser. You got a few people standing there, a couple of Navy vehicles or Army vehicles or whatever, and then you got the guy on the PA, and he's narrating as these shepherds are one after the other unleashed on the guy. It's really cool. So they decided, though, that they can really have a clever angle here, and I got to give them credit. It is. This is in Florida, I think, of course. They're trying to get the guy to his knees. And if he gets to his knees, it's over. Then the dogs stop. Let me just play you the audio first.
Mascot. All right, Josh, he's going to probably get another dog. Here we go. Go, here comes Raven. Raven is the museum mascot. All right, Josh, he's going to probably get another dog. Here we go. Here comes Callie.
Raven
Callie's the oldest dog in the field, 9 years old. Josh's going to pick another one. Maybe, maybe not. Here we go. Here comes Storm. Young buck on the field. All
right, Storm.
Here we go. Can Josh take more? Here comes Oplon. Smash him. I've seen Josh with 12 dogs at one time. All right. Here we go.
Now, damn it, the video cuts out before the guy takes a knee. You know, at some point, the dogs bring the guy down, okay? And so, you know, people pay a few bucks and raises money for the U.S., for the Navy SEAL Museum in this area of Florida. So they're trying to get the guy down, and what could possibly be the problem? Well, when they're trying to get, the dog's trying to get the guy to get to his knees, the dude's wearing a Kaepernick jersey, which I found to be really, really clever and funny. And, I don't care about insensitivity here. I think that is just a funny ass thing, and just leave this alone. Sorry, but this is just stupid. It's just the dumbest thing in the world. And now, people are saying we must cancel the U.S. Navy SEAL Museum because the dude, Josh, had a Kaepernick jersey on when he's standing there with all these dogs trying to yank him down. And I'm pissed because I wanted to see all of the dogs on him. It stops after there's 4 shepherds hanging off of this dude who's trying to avoid being dragged down by the dog. The dogs are, and they're hanging on by their jaws. It's really great. So screw it, man. I'm drawing the line there. Okay, who cares? That is such a pop culture thing right now, the Kaepernick thing, and I get it. I understand. I fully support. I do support Colin Kaepernick, but Kaepernick's got to think that's funny. He has to. Come on, people. The dogs are trying to get him to take a knee. Of course, it makes sense. Hell, they'd probably try to cancel him anyway if he wasn't wearing the Kaepernick jersey. This is great. This is a great thing. And I support Kaepernick, so shut up. The U.S. Navy says it's investigating, footage that shows Josh here wearing the Kaepernick jersey during the demonstration. Come on, this is harmless. So who knows what's going to happen here? This is an NPR article, so yeah, a little bit of a bent to it. He's heard making jokes about standing, in apparent reference to Kaepernick's protest while kneeling, eliciting laughter from a crowd of onlookers. Have you ever heard of levity? Is this not levity? This is absolutely what this is. This isn't anything malicious or heinous or hurtful. He's just wearing the stupid shirt while the dogs are trying to bring him to his knee. Shut up. Oh, my God. The inherent message of this video is completely inconsistent with the values and ethos of naval special warfare and the U.S. Navy. Somebody had to say that. The U.S. Naval Special Warfare Command said in a statement, "We are investigating the matter fully." Yeah, there is no investigation. I thought it was funny. This is what you say. Yeah, we're investigating. Okay, it's going to be over in 5 seconds. Why? Yeah, I did it, and it's funny. So what? It's over. Investigation. We are investigating the matter fully, and initial indications are that there were no active duty Navy personnel or equipment involved with this independent organization's event. Well, thank God. Imagine if there was. Oh, no. The video circulated online Sunday by filmmaker Billy Corben. Says the event took place during a fundraiser last year put on by the museum in Florida. The museum did not immediately respond to questions from NPR about the event. The museum, which is on former naval training grounds in Fort Pierce, Florida, has a history of dramatic demonstrations involving dogs, weapons, and helicopters. At a fundraiser in June 2019, the crowd watched as women were taken hostage by 3 men wearing black and white checkered scarves. I don't know why they added that for context. They do demonstrations all the time. And as ABC News reported, video from the event for the museum shows people in military gear in a standoff with a vehicle that says, "Take a knee." So this has been a regular thing with them. Well, I don't think there's any problem with this video. I think it's ridiculous now that they're probably gonna try to cancel the museum, which over this, and that's just silly. Come on now. Damn it! I wish I saw. I want to know how many dogs he got. That's what I need to know. All right, Kim Lazara is a listener of the podcast. She's a friend of the family. There's always a whole litany of jokes, usually from Boring Dean about when I was a young man, adolescent, and Kim was a young lady, and God, I don't want to go rehash the story. If you know, you know. But here we are, a little bit more than young adults. I do this for a living, and Kim markets and distributes Zingular products. Zingular. You're going to lose weight. You're going to have more energy. Your metabolism's going to be faster. You're going to feel great. Your immunity is boosted. How do you get Zingular? Well, you got to get in touch with a distributor. And the number one distributor of Zingular products is Kim Lazara. Okay? She's lovely. She's awesome. Click on the Zingular logo in the, I believe it's the lower sponsor scroll. I have two sponsor scrolls on my homepage, ericzaneshow.com. Takes you right to Kim's Facebook, and you can ask away with your questions about her products and her things and that she distributes, okay? The stuff she peddles. I got to talk to a friend of mine. I think I'm going to do the old Eric Zane, bring in a guest, unannounced. But this guy is another one of my sponsors. I've talked about Shoreliner striping many times, and he's probably busy striping right now. But I'm going to give it the old try to get him on the podcast. Tim Mayer, American Hockey League referee when hockey's happening, striping parking lots, workplaces, and athletic fields during the warm months. Am I going to get shut out? Usually he picks up quick. Come on, man.
Hi, you've reached Shoreliner Striping.
Damn it.
Sorry, we're unable to take your call right now.
All right, Mayor is busy striping parking lots right now. There's something special about when you drive into a business and it's painted. They just got it sealed. It's one thing to have it sealed. You got to paint it. Shoreliner Striping paints parking lots. They paint workplaces that has to have striping in them, especially with COVID-19. A lot of these places, like, you can't open until you have yellow stripes around the workstation. That happens in a lot of factories. Shoreliners does that. Shorelinerstriping.com. They also paint athletic fields. So if you're an AD, like, the field looks like garbage, we got to paint it. That's who you call upon. Shoreliner Striping at shorelinerstriping.com. Last but certainly not least, my God, we've got gun school happening again on Saturday. We have Saturday is gun school at Prince Arming, the August event. And if you want more information about CPL training, you go to the Prince Arming Facebook page. Get to it by going to my website, ericzaneshow.com. The next event costs you $125. You're going to spend the day Saturday getting trained by retired U.S. Army Major Steve Prince in Holland Township, Michigan. That's where the class takes place. You pay $125. You got snacks. You got water. You got a petting zoo there. Seriously, he does it at a place where the guy's got a petting zoo. You take a break. You go pet the baby goat. Then you get all the legal things that you need covered in the class. You take a test. You got some range time. You don't even need to own a handgun to take this class. But the one thing you have to have in order to get a CPL is this class. When you're done, you take a test, you pass, you get the certification, you take it in your hot, sweaty hands to your local county, and you say, I took the class. They're going to go, thank you. You owe us $110. Stamp, approved. 2 months later, you got your CPL. Then you carry your pistol concealed. Like all amazing Americans should. You should be armed. In the event that there is a dangerous scenario, you are protected. You can't rely on just running away, or you can't rely on a cop. You must protect yourself. Get a pistol license. Prince Arming. Thank you to Steve for being on board with the show. Okay. Baseball. Diana talked about it a little bit when the Queen of the Forest joined us on the podcast. But my beloved Detroit Tigers, they've got a little bit of time. They won't be playing baseball until I think Friday now, because the latest team to get hammered with coronavirus, the St. Louis Cardinals. And this is crazy how it's remarkable at how quickly it can just spread throughout a team. I think that's the one thing that I think we can all agree on when it comes to coronavirus and the pandemic is the ease at which that it's been spreading. You could have a Torch Lake incident. You could have the other one in Southwest Michigan when the kids were all in the water. Everybody gets sick. You got Harper's bar in Lansing, Michigan. Any other example of places throughout the United States, people get together and, somebody's got it. Big problem, which is what scares a lot of people about schools. You just get one kid there, all of a sudden all the kids have it. And true, most of those kids, or all of them, probably won't even know it. Some may get a little sick. Hell, some could die. But then you got all the other adults that are working on the school. So what the hell to do? By the way, my stance on that, don't go. I say no to school. This is what I say. No, your kids don't go to school. The education workers are paid to come up with a plan, and that's the way it's going to have to be. Sorry. No, you're not going to school. None of that. I say hell no. And I'm trying to convince the queen of the forest, if they go back, to quit. Honey, you don't need that job. We're doing just fine. I would not go. I don't want you getting sick, and I don't want you bringing it back here. No. That's my stance. No to school. Wipe it out till this is done. I don't care if it's another 2 years. No. So baseball, though, all right, they're trying this, and I don't know if this is going to work, man. You got another team that has to wipe out all these games. So, I mean, here they are. They were only playing 60 games, and they were supposed to be playing like almost every day leading up to the end of the season. So you got these teams that have these big spots of no games. They can't play. Baseball had to have thought that this was coming. You got Rob Manfred saying, you got to take care of yourself better. But, I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, when I had Zach Harrig on yesterday, the players aren't in a bubble. So they're traveling. They go home. They're just like you and I. This is like any other workplace. This is why we've all stayed home. So suddenly you just bring all these guys together. This had to have been expected. So I don't know how they make it up. I don't know how these players or how these teams end up making that up. I don't know. Maybe they should have had a plan in place where they have their entire roster able to be replaced by replacement players. Not sure. 13 players and staff members of the St. Louis Cardinals organization tested positive. Multiple games have been postponed in recent weeks as the league struggles to contain the spread of this. My God, 7 players and 6 staff members in the latest outbreak. The Cardinals are staying in Milwaukee. Who knows what's going on with the Brewers? Maybe it'll say here. They've been quarantined since last Thursday. The team had been scheduled to play against the Brewers, but those games were wiped out after 2 members of the team tested positive. The league said the tentative plan is for the Cardinals to resume their regular schedule on Friday against the Cubs in St. Louis. How? How do you do that? Members of the organization will be tested daily. Multiple baseball teams, including the Marlins and the Phillies, have faced coronavirus outbreaks. In response, the league and the players' union announced Friday that all doubleheader games would be 7 innings each. So they're trying to make it up. The Tigers had a doubleheader the other day that was a 7-inning game. Boy, I don't know. Given the frequency of doubleheaders, the effects of doubleheaders on roster, and the need to reschedule games due to dynamic circumstances, both the clubs and the players have determined that this step promotes player health and safety. I don't know, man. I just say if it comes down to it, at the end of the season, they have all these games left to play. You're going to have like 1-inning games. We're going to play 5 games today. Each game is 1 inning long. And we're going to settle the games by home run derby. You got to draw a name out of the hat. If the name comes up, that's who the batter is. What? It's Justin Verlander? Well, too bad. Get him up to the plate. Who know? I don't know. Okay, think about it. football. How's that going to work? I mean, that's a game where everybody is always in close proximity. The huddle. You know, the guys are like way spread apart. They're lining up at the line of scrimmage. How are you going to do that? Oh, boy, this is going to be very interesting to see how it unfolds. Hey, are you one of the people who thinks that the pandemic is going to end at the election? I am so interested in how this plays out. I'm actually very excited to see the lay of the land when it comes to, like, what the media talks about after the election. Let's say Trump wins, and I think he is going to win. Let's say Trump wins. Is that if there is a marked decrease in coronavirus coverage and stories, that to me would be very telling. And I'm anxious to see if that happens. I'm not saying it is, but a lot of people have been saying that to me. The virus ends on the election day. And that's kind of like a little bit of the conspiracy theory coming out in people. And I'm not saying I believe that. In fact, well, I think it's possible, but I can't say that I believe that at all. But and that doesn't mean the virus ends. What they're suggesting is, I think, that the talk of it will subside, because a lot of people say that the more you talk about it from media sources like the, ABC, NBC, CBS, even Fox, CNN, that the more they talk about coronavirus, the worse it is, the better chance they have of Trump losing the election. And I don't know if that's true or not. So I'm super interested in seeing, just watching to see what, because anytime you start like the Today Show, it's always the first story is the coronavirus. Today it happened to be this hurricane that's moving up the eastern seaboard that I can't pronounce the name of it. And by the way, they are talking about this hurricane, which is a Category 1. Like it is, one of the big ones, like Hurricane Floyd or like Hurricane Katrina. And it's a Category 1. There's like 85-mile-an-hour winds, and people are like, oh, it's really windy out. But they're acting like, oh, it is huge. A third of the country is going to be affected by this. Oh, my God. It's like going up the eastern seaboard. I have no idea. Hey, folks, I'm on Cameo, and it only costs you $15. And I love doing these, and I haven't done one in a while, probably because I haven't talked about it. But if you have somebody who has a birthday coming up, or they're getting married, or something special in their life, have me congratulate them, okay? And I can make this as polite or as stupid and nasty as you want me to make it, okay? You are the boss. For $15, you tell me what you want. You can find out. You can sign up one of two ways on your desktop or laptop. Go to cameo.com/Eric Zane. And on the app, too, if you have the Cameo app, you can hire me on the app. By the way, I don't think you can leave a tip on the app. Somebody said, hey, Zane, you might want to mention that. But I don't know. I've never hired myself. But some of you have the option of leaving a tip if you like. If I suck, don't leave me a tip. But I'm telling you, out of all of these, I've probably done 40 or 50 of these. I don't have one person who said, it kind of sucked. I sometimes it takes me 4 or 5 takes to get it right, and I want to make sure that you have fun with it. So, like, I have people that hire me on Cameo for, like, pure ball busting, like a friend who's just an idiot, and you really want me to lay into him. That's, like, my favorite. But I've even done some for kids who are, like, graduating first grade. I have had special requests to include the queen of the forest. I've had special requests to include my dogs or the cats. It's all at cameo.com/Eric Zane. I can make somebody's day, and it's so much better than a stupid card or a gift card or I take it back. The gift card is probably better, but definitely better than a card or flowers or some shit like that. Okay? Hey, I have Patreon coming up. That's another way I make cash. It's all about the cash I make. This is what I do. This is the only thing I do for a living. This podcast and the Patreon podcast. That's the only way I'm able to keep the family afloat. So if you sign up on Patreon, you are really pumping life into getting the electric bill paid, getting the dogs fed. It's awesome. So thank you. I work very hard on the Patreon podcast. It's ad-free, and we continue to talk about the news of the day, my nonsense, personal stories, and all that shit. That's all every day. As soon as I get done with this one, I regroup and I come up with another podcast I have for you. Yesterday it was short. It was only 25 minutes, but sometimes it's like an hour long. I work really hard on it. If you think that you like this one and you want more podcasting, you're really going to breathe some life into the show at patreon.com/Eric Zane. That's it. Done. Kaput. Like, Zane, why are you wearing that wrist brace? I've got carpal tunnel and it hurts like hell. Boy, it's from sitting here like this all day, like 10 hours a day, every day. It's a living. I love it. Thanks for being part of it. The Eric Zane Show podcast is done. We'll talk to you further down the road, folks.